What's up, guys? This is episode 0. We are here and kicking things off on a new podcast on Traklife. So, how do you guys feel?
Feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, I'm excited. Definitely a lot of topics, a lot of things have happened, and definitely just show everybody what we have coming soon on this project.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So, what can listeners expect from, tuning in?
So the podcast is called the Seen Through Us podcast. So we want to bring people on, not just us, because you'll see us on camera, but people who can relate to the topic at hand and to hear their perspectives and their point of view about what we're going to talk about that particular episode.
Yeah, and definitely bringing in different creators, from DJs, from artists, and all different types of backgrounds, and a lot of people from the Traklife team.
Yeah. What I'm most excited about with this show is the fact that we're not looking to, put too much structure behind it. We're just trying to keep the conversations real, raw, and just transparent. We're really trying to bring the walls down of like these topics and, just put everything on the table. So, it's gonna be a good conversation with different creatives beyond us three, professionals, and whoever the audience wants us to talk to.
Yeah, I feel like this shows you're going to really feel like you're like the fly on the wall, listen to everybody's experiences.
Yeah, for sure. And what I want to address is who this podcast is for. So, if you're tuning in and figure out if this podcast is for you, this podcast is really for different artists, musicians, creatives, anyone in the music community. But really, it's a podcast and show for whoever wants to just join in the conversation. Yeah. We're going to be talking about different things, all related to music, whether you're a developed artist, an independent artist, or a creative in music. This podcast is for you, and we welcome you to join in the conversation. We're going to be very involved and engaged with our audience so that you, the audience, is very much part of the conversation and in the room with us as we talk about these topics.
And that definitely put in a lot of comments and feedback and let us know what you guys think so we can also put that on future episodes.
But what else should the audience know before jumping into the series of episodes?
I think they got to know about us, our background, what we do, what we're about. Point. We got the lovely Lindsey, DJ Linz, all day, every day.
Yeah, let's do something different. Instead of us introducing ourselves, which is what everybody does, let's have the other two introduce the other one. You know what I mean?
I'm ready. I got it.
Let's introduce Linz first, since you already went there.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, DJ Linz, always playing my top tracks, always playing songs that I forget, and I'm like, wait, that's a banger. I'm like, wait, that's a classic. So I always listen to the mixes that Linz does, but also she's a great host. She's a great friend. She's always looking out, so I'm happy to do this show with her.
Oh,
yeah. Lynn, one thing you guys should know about Linz is she's quick with the puns. She's multi-talented, like Aaron said. She's a great host. She's been a Traklife OG and the voice of Traklife since day one. And you already talked about the DJ thing, but Linz is a great moderator of conversations with different guests, and she has a way with making guests feel comfortable to open up. And that's actually what I'm excited about in this podcast, because there's gonna be a lot of that going on.
Thanks, guys.
I know, it's hard to take those compliments. Okay.
Next, let's talk about Mr. Aaron Davon over here. Not only is he a photographer, videographer extraordinaire, he's also a marketing whiz, also a producer of the Millennials podcast, and part-time co-host. And now you're on Seen Through Us as a part-time co-host as well. Aaron has a great sense of humor. He has a world of knowledge, especially when it comes to marketing, social media, and things of that nature. So he's going to be a huge asset to this podcast.
Yeah. And fun facts. I just learned that Davon isn't your last name.
No.
I don't know if you want to tell people what your real last name is, because...
you're going to see it's Wiggs, but my middle name is Davon. So... most people just call me Aaron or they call me Wiggs, but I was like, you know what, I grow older, I want to be more suave, Davon.
Okay.
Another fun fact, when I was introduced to Aaron way before his involvement in
we're
track
going
life, he was introduced to me as Mr. Wiggles. And I was like, he must know how to dance. But lo and behold, it's just because his last name is Wiggs.
Yeah.
But he can dance, though.
I'm not a dancer. Like, I'm not a rapper, but I'm not a dancer.
All right, so we're talking about your talent. So going to your child acting background.
Yeah, man, child act. It's a lot of work, long days, but the craft services is great.
Gotta get those sandwiches.
They feed you, so that's the great thing about like acting. Craft services. Worked with Disney, AT&T. Worked with the DARE program, so it was a lot of cool shoots. Got to meet different people, and I was a really like fun. Just having fun kid and could be socialized with everybody. Auditions to me was just another play day, so it was just like so fun for me. And I got out of school. I didn't have to be at school, so
Wait,
I was doing
old were you?
auditions.
How old were you when you were child acting?
I was 3rd through 5th.
Wow. So
Yeah.
8 to 10 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, what were
Looking back, get back into it.
you, where were you
I love
on?
acting.
If people wanted to find stuff you worked on, what would it be?
I'm not telling you.
Google him.
I'm
Yeah.
shy about that.
I have some TV experience too, which is what I wouldn't want anybody to find either. So
Yeah.
let's keep it at that. So
What?
I get it.
No. You got to talk about it.
I'll
didn't
talk
know
about
that.
it.
What TV
But you
experience do you
can't. No one could find it because I can't even find it.
Oh,
Yeah, I tried to find mine too.
I mean, this was back in the days when everything was on like tapes and stuff. But Dance 360, you guys remember that show?
Oh, shoot.
I was a contestant. What's his name? Kel picked me out of the crowd and said, "Get in the circle." I was like,
That's
"Cool,
dope.
bet." I went in.
I didn't know that about you. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I forgot there was like 6 contestants per episode. I was one of them. And what's his name? The other host.
Fredro?
Yeah, Federal Star. Like he made eye contact with me while he was hosting. He said, basically his eyes said, "I'm gonna pick you."
Oh,
And
shit.
he sent Kel to come get me. I was like, ah, snap.
What year was this?
This was high school for sure.
Oh, man.
And this was back when I was dancing with a bunch of other dudes in a crew, and they were all dope too. They all became contestants too, and some of them actually won. But yeah, no one's gonna find that footage.
How'd you feel like when you got called up? Like,
You know what? My mind went. You know,
just
when you're in
You
that
blacked
moment,
out?
yeah, you
Just
black
black out,
out
yeah.
and you just
I've
go
been
numb, and you just kind of like looking back on it. I don't even remember what I was thinking at the time. It was just, dancing is all physical, so you're just kind of in the moment. But
You just did like donkey kicks the whole time. Just donkey kicks.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you what I did, just because like it was just a lost memory to me.
Dang.
It was like what I just last thing I remember was him calling me up, and then me leaving the taping, and in between that,
that's crazy.
yeah, you black out.
What a show. That was
I need
great
to see that
entertainment.
video.
I didn't see that series. I don't even think they want to put that out there anymore because it was not good.
You know what just recently resurfaced? Tiffany Haddish was a contestant on Dance 360 as well.
No.
And she was like doing like pop locking and just like all this stuff. And
Wait.
I think she won.
She talks about this?
Somebody just like posted it.
That's what happens when you get famous. They find it. They
Oh,
find the
snap.
video.
They do find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They're like,
she
find the
did her thing.
tapes.
Yeah,
did
what's
her
his name?
thing.
The journalist who digs into
Oh, Nardwar?
Nardwar.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a king at that.
Oh man, he scares people.
Yeah.
Like, how in the world did you know this? Like, how did you find this? Like,
Right?
why do you know this about me?
Yeah, I think that's the best part. He does the reactions, how he scares people.
Yeah.
So good.
Awesome.
But
Well, you know what? Let's keep talking about his dance history. So let's talk about Irv.
Talking about talented.
Very talented. Of course, he is the CEO of Traklife, founder of Traklife, tech guru, wizard, entrepreneur, all that good stuff. But how I met Irv was through dance, because he founded a dance crew called the Beat Jerkies, and I auditioned for it like in 2009, and that's when we met, because I made it on the team. Irv is a great choreographer. I'm just talking about his dance experience. You also founded Six Step when I think you were in high school.
That's cool.
So it was, like my first introduction to Irv was that he's an amazing dancer. And then I learned that he's a very talented, very smart, genius business owner.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, yeah. Yeah.
For
Family
me-
man, cute ass kids, lovely wife.
He makes you guys kids. For me, for Irv, it's just medium at a Traklife events. You know, back in the day, we used to go to Blue Sky Lounge and all that stuff.
Blue Jay.
Yeah, Blue Jay. There you go, Blue Sky. But yeah, back then, medium and all that stuff. But now working here for being more close, where Irv, you just see all the things he does and just the many hands and places he's going through and people that he works with. I think the great thing about Irv is that he's a good seeker of talent. Like he knows where to put people and lets them shine really good. So, you know, he's putting me in this place right now to shine. What's up?
Irv, how do you know?
appreciate that.
How do you know? Irv has a sixth sense. Because my involvement with Traklife was that I was a co-host on the very first Traklife radio show, which is called the Traklife Show, and I never really did anything as far as like hosting goes, like or radio or journalism or anything like that. But Irv was like, "Hey, do you want to be a co-host?" I'm like, "Okay, if you think I could do it," and I did it. And then another fun fact: Irv gave me my first DJing equipment to DJ my first gig, which was for your birthday.
Yeah.
And and then my whole love for DJing just took off from there. So thanks, Irv.
I know, right?
Fast forward to now, I'm still on the mic on Traklife.
He got us working.
And I get paid to DJ sometimes. So yeah, here we go. Here we are.
At the end of the day, you guys are just helping me build out a vision, not just for myself, but for you guys, for our community, for artists. So at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing that we could all come together and put our talents and skills to build this thing we call Traklife. So I appreciate that, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Talking about your vision, like for me, like what is Traklife? Like how did you get it started? What did you do? What was the purpose when you got started?
Yeah, so I mean, personally, I think it was a really organic thing on how Traklife was built. And, you know, we're still in the process of building it out, but I think we've really found what we do. But to get to this point, I started out with my cousins, DJ Deans, and other friends DJing out of my bedroom. And I was a fresh graduate from UC Riverside at the time, graduate in computer engineering. So I figured out how we could broadcast live mixes on the radio. So we were hitting up our cousins in the Philippines, hey, come listen to us, mix live. That was a cool thing. It just made it seem like we were like Hollywood just because we were on the internet and people from around the world could hear us. So that was fun. That was a good stint of a couple months. And then things really started to change once we opened up our studio in Little Tokyo in downtown LA. So once we had a studio to operate out of, just the way things happened was organic. Just everyone's like, oh, can I come by the studio? Can I have a show? So we had a 24-hour stream, internet stream. And we were broadcasting maybe like 3-4 hours out of the week, but we were doing 24 hours every day. So music would just be running, and then we'd just offer different DJs, different personalities, like, yo, you want to broadcast, take a time slot within our 24-hour stream and do a show out of our studio. And then that brought on shows like The Kickback Show, On Air with Aaron. And then with all these shows, they brought on their friends and their network of music creatives. And then next thing you know, the studio just became a creative hub of, DJs, artists, and people just come by. And then because of that, we built a community of creatives like yourselves and, people like Mac, who is our director of photography. Next thing I have a team of creatives that want to help out with the brand and with the company. And it's like, you know what? Let's do more than just internet radio. Let's shoot content for these artists. Let's shoot video series. And next thing you know, we were a full-on media company. And then we expanded to our studio in Burbank, where we had multiple rooms to create content out of. And that brought on more opportunities for artists to come by. I was pretty much far into my tech development, so I learned how to do other things, build apps and other platforms, and that brought on more different creatives. So you know what? We just formed a company, like we were the Avengers and seeking one goal, and now we're a full-on media company looking to build artist brands and work with artists. And in this day and age of social media and independent music, all artists need, that brand elevation and that content creation, and that's ultimately what we're here for. And I think we've found our purpose in that. And yeah, it's been a great journey so far. And this is the culmination of like 12, 14 years.
Yeah.
12, 14 years of different things. We do events, and it's been a fun journey. It's still a long road, a long road ahead of us, but it's been fun to get to this point.
No, that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Yee.
But yeah, what else? Episode 0. What else should people know?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I think I said what I was looking forward to the most, and we'll close it out with this. What are you guys most excited about on what's to come for this show?
For me, it's just for people to get different viewpoints from different people. I feel like a lot of times we ask a lot of ourselves questions like, how do I get this started? How do I do this? How do I do that? And a lot of times because we don't have people to talk to or people to have a discussion with, we don't start it. We don't do anything. We don't take that next step. But having a podcast that shows me people who've dealt with it, and not just the good, but also the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Been in those situations and been in those rooms. And so it shows me like, okay, the full scope of it. And we're going to show you that full scope. You know what I mean? So I think this is why it's going to be a really great podcast.
I'm personally looking forward to the types of people that we're going to have in the room with us. There's a lot of creatives that I'm looking forward to not interviewing, but to have a conversation with. People from different areas of the music industry and like the creative type of fields that are all going to be sitting around this table having a conversation that means something to them, and hopefully will mean something to the person listening and watching us as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like all the different people that we get to meet and the different like points of views that we're going to unearth on this podcast.
Right. That's a great point, because what I'm excited about too is we all have different perspectives on what the music industry is, what this current landscape of music and society, and I'm excited to have these open conversations to kind of broaden what that perspective looks like, because with like social media, everyone kind of lives in their own world and has their own perspectives, but I think having open conversations opens up that perspective, like I said, and kind of puts us on game, but also gives us a better understanding of the world we live in and the scope of music. And yeah, I mean, I just want to dive into how other people see things, and not necessarily figure out what's right and what's the wrong way to do things, but it's always good to have that context. So, but yeah, I mean, with that said, I think we're good to close it out there. This is episode 0, and we'll see you guys in episode 1.
Peace.
Cool.
We finally got in that flow. Took a while.
We did it.
We stalled a couple times.